It's 6:30. Let us begin.
All right.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Tonight we have Allison Bowman with us. It's a return to the gallery. She used to work here, was it three years ago?
I think so.
But she's moved on to the big city. So I'm Amy. I'm the manager here. So I have a few questions for Allison, but if anybody has questions for her, just type them in the comments and we'll read them out loud to her. So, all righty. So, Allison.
Yes.
What projects are you working on now?
Okay, so this is kind of a big one. I'm working on multiple. So over the last year, I have gone through a program called Artist Inc. I went through Artist Inc. in 2019. And then in 2020, I went through Artist Inc. Advanced, which is a program through Mid-America Arts Alliance, where they kind of teach and give resources to artists who are trying to create their own like brand, business, learn how to market, all that stuff. But through Artist Inc. Advanced, we were tasked to come up with a project to get a grant to do this project. And my project went through a lot of different changes through COVID, but it ended up being, it's a 4-panel transportable mural. So over the last couple years, maybe a year, I've started painting murals around, which is fun.
Cool.
So these panels, they're 8 feet tall by 4 feet wide, and there's 4 of them, and they're going to be anchored into the ground at the Lakeside Nature Center in Kansas City. So they will be on one of their trails. So when you walk the trail, you'll be able to see this big mural.
Very cool. What do you have to do differently for it to be outside from what you usually do?
I don't know, really.
Okay, you're going to research that?
Yeah, I'm going to assume that I have to seal it, weather seal it.
Yes,
Probably.
please do.
Yes.
Yes, please do.
Probably.
Or just, more melting,
Yeah, I know. Like keep it wet and the rain will just, I know. I'm kind of worried about the weather, but we'll figure it out. Probably use house paint instead of acrylic paint.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That's very cool.
And then another project that I am currently working on is painting beehives.
Ooh.
So, yeah, I've been contacting local Kansas City bee farms, and we are partnering and collaborating to let me paint their hives. So
Was that your idea?
Yeah.
What made you want to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm asking a question.
Okay.
So are you painting pictures of the hives or are you painting the physical hives? Do they take the bees out?
I haven't done it yet, so we're still in the planning stages. I'm hoping they take the bees out because as much as I love bees, they kind of terrify me.
I would think they wouldn't put you through that.
Yeah, no.
Do they give you an EpiPen?
No.
Oh, EpiPen.
I'll have to bring my own. I will be painting the actual beehives with house paint, and it'll be like my work on the beehives. And I just kind of had the idea. I saw an article on Facebook about, I think it was somewhere in the Netherlands. They had bus stop shelters. Mm-hmm. They had put plants on the top of them, like bee-friendly plants. And so the bees could come pollinate within the city.
Okay.
So then I don't know, kind of just got on this save the bee kick and started reaching out to.
That's great. It's important work.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
I think so. And I mean, I paint plants, and I wouldn't have plants to paint if there weren't bees. So.
Yeah. Well, you should be proud. Sorry. Okay. So that's something you're looking forward to. Do you have any other projects you're hoping to do in the future, or like long-term dreams?
Yes. So this kind of was sort of a dream before COVID started, but I really want to have my work in like hospital settings, hospitals, psychiatric facilities. But then COVID happened, and I was like, hospitals are kind of busy right now.
Maybe a little, yeah.
So I'm kind of looking into, I don't know, just reaching out to hospitals, because a lot of hospitals actually have art programs.
Yeah.
and I know a lot of the ones in Kansas City does. And so yeah, I'm trying to navigate that, but that's
cool.
something I want to do.
Yeah, you're like, could look into like retirement centers or like therapy buildings too.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's cool. Well, I know that's important to you, so that's a neat one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that you work at the Johnson County. Tell me about your job.
Yeah. So the building that I work in is the Johnson County Arts and Heritage Center in Overland Park, and I am a part-time art teacher there, but I also work with the Arts Council of Johnson County.
Okay.
And they are a separate entity. So the Johnson County Arts and Heritage Center is owned by the Johnson County government and is led by JCPRD. So they're a part of Johnson County Parks and Rec. And then the Arts Council is in the same building, but we are a separate organization. So we're a nonprofit arts advocacy organization, and I am the administrative assistant. And I have been working there 1 year as of 2 days ago.
Cool.
So I started, we had just come back from a vacation, and I started work the next day, and then like 2 days later, Johnson County shut down, and I had to start working from home. So that was kind of a crazy trial by fire.
Yeah. But you worked there before that in a different position, didn't you?
Yeah, so as a teacher,
okay.
Yeah, I was a part-time art teacher.
That's cool. Tell me about that. Do you work with kids?
Yeah, so we did a lot of classes, mostly youth art classes, and Devin Graham, who is probably watching this, is the fine arts coordinator, and she's great. So she was my boss there. We did summer camps, just lots of different kinds of art. We did like STEAM camps, so science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. We did like ceramics camps and painting, and anywhere from young to like high school age.
Okay, cool.
And then I taught a couple adult classes in the evenings too.
I remember when you started working there, you seemed really happy.
Yeah, it was great. That was the first job I've had that I've really, besides this place, obviously.
Yeah. Gotta have that caveat there.
Sneak that in there. That I really felt like this is a good place for me to be. So.
Neat. Yeah. Very cool. So you own your own house now.
I do.
And you have your own studio. Tell me about your studio.
Yeah, so my studio is in our house in Olathe. We just moved there last June, my husband and I. And hi Tyler. And my studio is the entire unfinished basement. So it's actually a lot of space, and it's really great. And I can make a mess down there. And so I store all my paintings down there. I've been working with resin, so I work with my resin down there. My friend Joe is gonna help me install a sink down there.
Oh.
So we're gonna be official.
Wow.
I know. But yeah, it's a really nice place to just kind of go down and do my stuff.
Yeah.
So.
You don't have to clean up after yourself because it's yours. That's very cool.
Yeah.
You have pets. Are they helpful?
No, they're not.
No. Do you keep them locked out?
Yeah, I try to keep them out, but the cats are very interested.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, because there's the concrete that goes up, and then there's a space where it's just like insulation and wood basically, and they like to kind of get in there. So I try to keep them out, but yeah, and then we have a dog, and she likes to be down there with me, but she kind of is annoying, so I just like no.
High maintenance.
Yeah.
Let's play. We could play.
I know.
Yeah.
One of my cats likes to eat paint, so
no, that's not healthy.
probably not a good idea.
No. Okay. Could you explain your technique for your work a little bit and your preferred materials?
Yeah. So these paintings, I think all of these right here are acrylic on canvas. I started them with oil on canvas because I was at Key State and I had, ventilation and just this space where I could really use oil. Mm-hmm. And then when I lived in apartments, I had to change to acrylic because it just wasn't.
Does it get stuffy in your basement with the oil too?
It does. I don't have ventilation down there, so I don't use it as much as I would like. But basically what I do is I start with a background, which is usually just like different brush strokes, mark making, and then I just build it up from there.
Okay.
And I think I said this in the video, but I paint pretty intuitively, so I never have like a plan. I don't know what they're going to turn out to be. They just kind of come to fruition.
They come to life.
Yeah, and it's kind of it's about the process more than what the finished product is going to be.
Okay.
So I talked about it a little bit in the video too, but my process of the paintings is like therapeutic, you know. So
Yeah.
it's really helped me with my struggles with anxiety and depression, and that's what it's all stemmed from.
Nice. How do you get the drip effect? Do you just use water for that?
Yeah. So when I use acrylic paint, I water down the paint a lot, and there was a point where I was relying on the drips a lot, and they got really, really drippy. So I've kind of been trying to keep the drips at a minimum, but I think it's fun. And then oil, you just use like a oil medium.
Yeah.
Like I use Galkid, anyway. But it kind of thins out the oil and it allows that drip effect.
Do you prefer one or the other for that drip effect?
I prefer oil. I just think the colors are deeper and nicer. But acrylic's fine, I guess.
Yeah. It's probably easier to layer with the acrylic, isn't it?
It takes
dries
less
faster.
time to dry.
Yeah.
Yep. And yeah, the oil can get kind of thick and tacky. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. What's up?
Here are just
Questions?
Well, no, I'm not. You want to? Okay. Well, I can get on there. I just.
Oh, no, you had your list.
I did have my list, but it's easy to switch back and forth. I thought maybe you guys would read them out to me when they came.
We don't have a mic and we echo.
But
We'll repeat the questions.
yeah, I can repeat the questions.
Okay.
Hold on just a second. I tried to anticipate what I thought questions would come in. So, well, no, I'm about halfway through my list, so we can take a break.
Yeah.
Take some from the audience before they get bored with us. So,
Just listening to me talk and talk.
yeah. All right. Comments on who's here? Maybe. Okay. Comments on. Okay, maybe mine isn't working as well as I would hoped.
Oh, just take that one instead.
Okay. All right. Double it up here. I'm just watching myself look at this. Okay.
That's bizarre.
Okay, lots of hellos. Hello. Hi, Sue. Hi, Sue. Beehive's awesome.
Yes.
Can't understand the questions. Too much echo. Does it sound?
That
Oh, that was your question.
guys are
Okay.
great.
Okay. Good, good.
I'm probably
Okay, trying to find a question. Allison is a gem with homeschoolers, among others, says Devin. So yes, you're right. He is watching.
Homeschool is fun. She, but yeah. Yeah.
Oh, she, sorry.
Yeah.
That's an interesting name. I like it. Okay, one question.
Okay. Awesome.
Do you ever use a palette knife?
Oh, I don't. I prefer flat square brushes. I tried palette knife before, and I don't like the sound that it makes when it scrapes across canvas.
Oh my gosh.
So, no, I don't. I don't usually. It tends to be blockier, and I use very thin layers, so the palette knife kind of is more for like chunky layering, I guess.
That's the technical term, right?
Chunky layering.
Chunky
yeah.
layering. Sounds like it could be a song. I don't know.
So yeah, no palette knife.
Okay. So you take this back and let me know if we have another question, and then pass it to me.
We have one.
I didn't see. Okay.
Somebody asked about how long it takes to make a larger painting.
Okay.
How long does it take to make a larger painting?
That's a tough question, and I think that's a tough question for pretty much every artist. I am not a full-time artist, so I am not down in the studio, 9 to 5 every day. So I don't know if I could put a number on it, but with acrylic, it would probably take me, a couple weeks to finish a painting, not consecutively.
Yeah.
I get kind of bored with myself, and sometimes you just got to step back and take a look at it later.
Yeah.
So, but I could do one of the large ones in a couple weeks in acrylic. Oil is a different story because
Yeah.
it takes forever to dry. So probably like double that time.
How many layers do you usually have in a
Oh
piece?
my gosh. That is a great question. I don't know. I'd probably say anywhere from like 50 to 75.
Ooh,
I
ooh.
mean, I just sometimes, and then sometimes I go back into painting. So it's really just building and building and, yeah.
Okay.
So you'll have to repeat this one, but how many pieces at a time do you think
Oh.
have open that you're working?
Yeah. Yeah.
How many pieces at a time do you usually have working on at the same time?
A lot. I have probably like 30 unfinished pieces down in my basement right now that I kind of just, jump around. If I'm working on like a collection, kind of like this, I'll try to pick out the canvases that I want to use and work on them all at the same time. So I'll start a background layer and then move on to the next one, and yeah.
I know sometimes you go back and rework old pieces too.
Uh-huh.
So. All right, can you tell us about your transition from smaller scale to larger canvas? Have you always done large paintings?
I have. I started out doing these paintings large scale. The first one I did was in college, and I actually built the stretcher bars. So we had a wood shop at K-State, and we got to go down and like design our canvas stretchers and then stretch it. And mine was 6 feet by 4 feet, I think, which is pretty large. And then I kind of just kept going large. I just think it's the whole hand, it's the whole arm movement. I usually stand when I paint. So yeah, I don't usually go small. I find it's actually easier to do detail for me with a larger painting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. Where do you get the inspiration for your beautiful botanicals? I think that actually is similar. I wanted to know if you have plants in your home, if you use those for
So
inspiration.
That's a funny question because
I already know the answer.
I don't currently have any plants in my home because I killed them all. Yeah. So embarrassingly, I don't have a green thumb. I like plants a lot and I try to keep them alive, but as Tyler knows, I've got empty pots right now.
These never die.
You don't have to
Exactly.
water those.
Exactly. That's the beauty of capturing them in paintings is you don't have to water them.
And they can grow big within a week.
Exactly. So yeah, the inspiration, right now I'm obviously a little bit more tropical kind of plants, but initially the prairie is really what inspired me. So I grew up here in Manhattan, and the Kanza Prairie is like right down the road. So just walking through the Kanza, in the springtime right after they burn, that's my favorite time because all the really light green grass is coming through.
Yes.
So yeah, the prairie really is what inspired me in the beginning. And then I started painting the Monstera plants, and those are kind of a fun shape. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Do you use photographs for reference, or do you just paint from what you...
Both.
Yeah.
So I kind of have this, I don't know if I could point it out right now, but I kind of have this specific shape of leaf that I do in the background. And then when I get to the foreground, I kind of just pick a plant that I want to paint and put it in there.
Nice.
But I'll usually use a photograph for the plants in the front.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yes, you mentioned the Flint Hills, and I was wondering, what do you find yourself missing about Manhattan or that area in general?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Since you've moved so far away.
I know, it's 2 hours. It's just so far. I do miss the Kanza. There are a lot of nature centers and places around Kansas City that I still have yet to visit. So I need to do that. But I miss, I don't know. Like I grew up here, so it's all kind of like desensitized. I miss my family. It's kind of hard being not close to them, but close enough that I can drive on the weekend. I don't know.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
You don't miss the smell of burning?
I don't. That actually really bothers me.
Yeah.
I do miss the smell of manure though, which is really weird. So yeah, that's kind of gross. But yeah.
That's funny. Okay.
Anyway.
So what was your best lesson working at art gallery as an artist? You said that you took some lessons from here before you left. So
a lot of things were pounded into my brain.
well, what I guess better rephrase that. What did you gain from working at art gallery that you think is useful as an artist?
Right. I learned how to present myself, which I don't think they kind of started teaching it at K-State. You know, how to price your work and how to do all that stuff, kind of more the admin side of it. So I learned that working at a gallery before, and I learned how to approach galleries and be respectful and not just kind of shove my stuff in their face, you know. I learned, I want to say I learned how to be like a perfectionist, but I'm not, so I didn't learn that.
You learned how to be organized and present yourself as a little closer to perfect.
Yeah, I try. I'm not. I learned how to. Sorry, I'm really bad on the spot.
That's okay.
I should have looked at your questions.
I offered.
I don't know. I guess
We can come back to that
Yeah,
one if
let's
you
come
want
back to it.
Okay,
Let's come
because I actually have this lower on the list, but it's a good follow-up to that. What advice would you give to other emerging artists that are having a hard time breaking into the scene? You said that a lot of Kansas City has a lot for people who are established, but how do you get established?
Right. I don't know if I'm the right person to tell you how to be established because I'm still working on it myself.
I understand. Yeah.
But from what I have learned and the successes I've had is really from knowing what your resources are around where you live. So the first thing I did when I moved to Kansas City was join the Kansas City Artists Coalition. And they're just really great at representing artists and giving them the opportunity to be in shows. They have an auction every year that's like a huge event that artists can donate work to, and then it goes back to fund the Artists Coalition. And then I just kind of just scoped out what was around.
Do you find it useful to try to apply to everything possible, even if it seems like a little thing, or does that spread you too thin?
It depends. I learned recently that for me to be a successful artist, I need to stick to what I'm good at. So I'm not going to apply to like an animal juried show, you know, like I'm not going to try to do every little thing just to fit what's going on. I try to find what's going to be good for me. And a lot of times I just come up with ideas like the beehives. It's just something that I thought of, and I knew that there were places around that could potentially partner with me. And but like bottom line, don't do anything for exposure. People can pay artists, and they should pay artists. Even if you're doing something for your community, it's great to give back to your community, but don't give yourself away for free. That's something I had to learn too. So, yeah.
It looks like you're making opportunities for yourself by coming up with ideas instead of just waiting for something to come along.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What else do I have here? I kind of skipped around a little bit.
That's okay.
What do you do if you have creative block? Do you have any tips?
Ooh, yeah. When I have creative block, I typically rely on other people to help me get through it. So I listen to a lot of podcasts, but one of my favorites is called Art for Your Ear by the Jealous Curator, her name's Danielle Crissa. She lives in Canada. She's like my hero. But she has a couple books and some really great ideas on like jump-starting your creative process. So sometimes what I will do, instead of continuing to work on a painting, I will take a step back and I'll start making like a collage, or at work there's pottery classes. So I took some pottery classes a couple years ago before COVID, and that really helped me just kind of stop thinking so hard about one thing, and then, you know, do something for myself that's more of like a fun project or whatever, and then I could get back into what I was doing and usually be successful.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, because I know this last year, either people have had more time and they're inspired, or they're just not able to concentrate on anything. I feel like it's a little bit one way or the other.
Yeah.
So
it's the beginning of COVID. Pretty much the first half of the last year, I didn't do anything. I was just not, and I think a lot of people were. They just were, you know, that wasn't what was on their mind.
Yeah.
But over the last couple months, I've really been picking back up and trying to do more stuff and painting a lot more. So,
yeah, very cool.
yeah.
All right, let me see. I think that is through my list. Do we have any more audience questions? No? Yes?
I'm not sure that we do.
Okay.
As I try to talk into your mic,
Okay.
Do we want to show a couple of them?
you can show a couple of paintings.
Oh, okay.
Just let me sit here.
Hope they missed my face there.
So yeah, I don't usually talk about my paintings individually because they all are the same. I don't want to like discount them or anything, but so I've been calling them sacred spaces over the last couple of years because they are spaces of reprieve, you know, that you can kind of just jump into, not literally, but jump into and explore and discover about yourself and about other people. It's a place to think. So,
Cool.
yeah, they're a collection of things.
Nice.
That's really individual.
Okay. Well, all of these pieces from Allison are available on our website. You can take a closer look at them there and buy one from her because they're really beautiful. I think they just would look nice in a lot of homes. So have some, if you can't take care of plants yourself, you can buy one of Allison's paintings and have beautiful botanicals.
Yes.
Yeah.
I learned that once I had children, I could only keep one thing alive.
That is probably the better thing to do.
Amy, thank you so much for doing this. I know
course.
you and Allison are great friends, and it's delightful to have you back in the gallery, Allison, and fabulous earrings, by the way.
Thank you. They're my mom's, but Dorothy Ferrand made them.
Yes.
She actually has work here too, so.
She does.
And I'm wearing my Marlene Toms.
Are you wearing
Yes.
Marlene Toms? I'm wearing ones from the gallery too, and
The ones my mom has tried to buy 3 times.
yes.
Are those Cheryl's?
They're Marlene's
Marlene's
too.
as well. That's what I
So,
thought.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're representing
So-
today.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. We have lots of lovely things here at the gallery. I hope we're picking me up on the mic. Yeah, I know. I've got to do this thing.
Oh wait, no,
Oh.
it won't. There we go.
There we go. Okay, I'm going to do this. I know, not terribly professional, but I have been vaccinated. Amy's getting vaccinated next week. Allison's fully vaccinated. Woohoo!
Yay.
We hope everyone out there watching, we hope everyone is staying safe and well. You can certainly check us out on snwgallery.com. Contact us via email, phone. We're here for you. We think it's a great time to buy art. We have gorgeous stuff coming in all the time. We can hardly keep up with all of the things that are coming in. Please check us out on the website. And we are going to have some new works from Rita Guile for our next presentation. We're not quite sure how it's going to be, but it's going to be on Earth Day because we also need to take care. We need to take care of ourselves. We also need to take care of our world. Thank you all for joining us here this evening. And thank you, Allison. Lovely to see you.
Thank
and
you.
Allison's family, Tyler, and your mom tuned in,
Yeah.
even though she's
They're
driving back.
home.
Driving home from Hilton Head.
Yep.
Don't we all wish we could go
I
to
know,
the beach? So thank you, everyone, and we wish you a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye.